Staircase. Oh. Oh yeah, apparently the snipers are busy killing the
I love
the
this
infested
sniper section.
head crabs.
I really love this sniper section. For one thing, you could see the snipers screwing around and just like blowing zombies away for fun to kill the boredom. And also, this finally created that pinned down sense. Like, wow, these guys have really got me bottled up in here, and I'm not sure how to get out.
Where's the sniper? There he is.
This was actually a tough throw for me at the time. I didn't use grenades very often, and I'm still pretty bad at them. It's stark contrast to now, where I'm just like really unremarkable.
Oh yeah, you're fantastic.
Over here.
Oh God. It's that guy.
Gordon, over here.
Gordon Freeman, is that you?
I swear to God, that's how I'm greeting Seamus when we go to the Escapist Expo. Seamus Young!
Oh my God!
Gordon, take out these snipers, would you?
Yeah, I just did.
Seamus Young, I'm coming with you.
Now let's clear out of here.
I'm gonna pay 5 guys to like all say that, like in unison.
Oh man, while you're walking around.
Yes.
Go through doorways if first, and then stop.
More than
and
two
let me
of
get out of your
us
way.
if more than 2 of us ever go to the same convention, that's what we should do. One of us should dress up as Gordon Freeman. The rest of us should dress up as Resistant members and follow Gordon Freeman around. Say, don't forget to reload.
Just like old time. That's not your line. That doesn't belong to you.
Yeah, Mumbles gets to play Barney.
Yeah. Incompetent security cop. That's me.
Can I play Breen, the only interesting character in the series?
Breen is
you
following.
You can be Alex Van.
Boo.
Can you imagine what that would be like to have an entourage of people dressed up as refugees, resistance members, and they're just always looking at you. No matter what you do, they're all surrounding you and facing inward.
I hate it.
Watching you.
That damn thing haunts me.
Go into the bathroom, they all go with you and just stand around the urinal. Even Mumbles. So by the way, I just decided now that I'm not going to be Gordon.
Me either.
So that was a little comment that that Barney made there that I kind of liked about the kind of recurring theme that he's had with that cat that got destroyed or something terrible happened to it when it was teleported. And he was like, "Did you hear a cat just now? That thing haunts me."
That's kind of sad.
When in doubt, throw grenades and explosive stuff at blind doorway corners.
Okay, so now we're back into an actual sort of themed area where a lot of this is throwing explosives.
Oh, that guy got slowed.
What the? Where did you guys come from?
Well, I just like watching the playthrough because I like sort of trying to see all the different playstyles they're trying to elicit. Because it's not even so much set-piece design. It really isn't. Not in the God of War, here's a quick-time event with a fancy animation sense. They really sort of start with this core set of mechanics, like there are snipers, there are head crabs, there are poison head crabs, there's this gun, there's that gun, and they each situation they try to frame it in a different way.
Right. Okay, now you're going to deal with
silly.
poison head crabs in this context, and now you're going to deal with them in this context. And then a few hours later, you'll deal with them in a different situation with a different set of weapons. So by the end of the game, you've had to deal with just about every pairing of enemies and every possible weapon with that pairing of enemies.
I remember this courtyard from Team Fortress 2. Like a mod someone made for Team Fortress 2. It was like... Never mind.
Oh, what? Get out of here.
But to me, that always felt like the real point of Half-Life was toying with these mechanics in interesting ways, and really,
Oh Jesus!
honestly, in Half-Life 2, they cover pretty much every permutation of mechanics I can think of for a first-person game. At least in terms of the current modern first-person shooter formula.
Yeah. Now a lot has happened between then and now because these guys aren't exactly punctual about making games. So maybe there's some new stuff that they can crib.
Well, like, what other first-person shooters do you really have to reference that you've played? Like, I don't think any of us play the Modern Warfare stuff. So,
I
like,
played
No,
both.
well, I
Crysis?
played a couple. I played both Crysis games. I played some Far Cry. I played Homefront.
I'm not convinced
So-
Far Cry counts, though. Like, a lot of first-person
true,
games
that's pretty
have
different.
coupled with other genres because they don't want to be just a pure first-person shooter game. It's hard to do. It's hard to keep people's attention.
Yeah, when all you're doing, like Homefront was really boring for me. It was really that's not it's not exactly the nadir of the genre or anything, but it
Right.
really was pretty unsatisfying. Just that process of
That's a
Wow!
middle
I
of
can't
the
believe
road
my
shooter,
team is
though.
still alive.
So, like, if a middle of the road shooter is pretty fucking boring, it makes sense that a lot of shooters have decided to pick up other genres along the way.
yeah, and that makes sense to me. I think shooters do better. Shooter is a flavoring, not a.
Right.
It can't really support a game by itself, or it needs something else to go with it. It's like having only French fries.
Oh, there we go. Now I've thinned out my squad. Oh Jesus! So that's the suppression device that they're talking about that's been raining down hell on us. There's all these.
It's about the most ineffective weapon ever. Why are we going in here to disable that weapon? All it does is leave a very bright marker letting you know you need to take 5 steps away. I mean, really, an artillery gun will ruin your day.
Oh yeah!
I'll bet you
chipmunks.
anybody being pounded by artillery would gladly
Guys.
trade it for this thing.
It's sort of like shooting at someone's feet.
Oh,
and
that's
telling
right.
them to
That's
dance.
what this is.
Uh-oh, turrets. Hey, you've got
Yeah.
the HEV suit. You deal with them.
And even this right here almost feels like a thief-style bank heist.
Great.
It kind of is.
Nice.
I don't feel like.
I like how they
breaking all
fold
those.
themselves back up nice and neat after they've been blown up.
Grenade away!
Yeah, Barney, just
To the
stand
most
right there in the doorway.
ineffective- Oh,
This is a cool area.
Uh-oh, drop.
yeah.
Love this
Half-Life
area.
has a lot
yeah.
of cool set
Coming from the
pieces.
roof.
Really just so impressive to see the mix of this old European architecture mixed with the Combine stuff and the real
Yeah.
stark contrast between the two. Just beautifully done.
Yeah.
Whoa! What the?
Get down!
But I mean, I guess that's my point when I complain about the fact that Half-Life has all these different gameplay mechanics and gameplay modes in here. It both is its strength and its weakness insofar as they fully explore pretty much every permutation of first-person shooter mechanics that the world has ever seen in one game, which is really
Yeah.
cool. But at the same time, the game has no self-identity. Like, it really doesn't have, mechanically... Like, if I say Deus Ex, or I say Super Meat Boy, or I say, you know, Painkiller,
Yeah.
you know immediately
like-
the gameplay.
If I
Half-Life
if I
doesn't
ask you, oh, what kind of food do they serve there? Oh, buffet. Yeah, but what kind of? Oh, it's a buffet. It doesn't have any single identity. It's a bunch of stuff put together.
Oh, you fucking... What the fuck?
And that's actually
Well,
a
a lo-
really good... Go ahead, Mumbles.
Huh.
I was just gonna say that, like, a lot of designers, when they think of making a game, the first thing that they think of is a game mechanic, and this feels more like the first thing they thought of was, let's make a really great shooter. And the gravity gun to me is kind of like not even a big part. Like, it's not as big as
Yeah.
just making it a really cool shooter. Like, how often do you actually use that in this area? Or
Right.
I've seen you use barely ever.
In the hands of another developer, they'd be like, no, the player has to... We'll create this constant need to use the gravity gun because that's our
Right.
signature thing. We'll just make them use it all the time.
At the same time, I would say that the gravity gun provides a certain mechanical unity to the stuff. Because a lot of the puzzles in this game, and a lot of the flavor of this game, is physics-related stuff. Maybe to too much of a degree in some cases. Everybody loves the
Seesaw.
seesaw
Motherfucking
puzzles they put in every single
It just
game.
occurred to me while I was saying, oh, we don't have this constant need to use the gravity gun. You ran in, and there was something you had to use the gravity gun for. But
Yeah.
I was thinking more in the general sense of there'd be this constant flow of enemies that required the gravity gun all
Exactly.
the time.
It's like what Josh said, it's like a flavor rather than like the full meal. It's just a really strong flavor of the game.
I like the buffet
I always liked
metaphor.
this room.
I like that too, yeah.
I loved... Okay, I hate jumping puzzles. Even in this game where they're pretty forgiving. But I do love the comedy that they build into the sequence.
Oh.
Where Barney
I
is
think I'm
like,
standing
oh,
on
okay,
top of one of these
I'll let you...
sensors.
Nice.
Oh, wow. That's...
Nice.
I love how these sensors can't detect anything except you. All these explosions and smoke particles, and they don't care about any of that. All they care about is the player character in our way.
All I care about is you. Sorry, that was more
son of a-
creepy than I meant it.
Super creepy.
And this is a rare part of the game where I believe if you trip these, you die. But it's not an instant death, it's just
it
a...
opens up like a whole bunch of fucking turrets and it basically destroys you. Yeah.
But it's not a forced death, it's just
Dr.
an
Brain
unavoidable
Bust.
death. I love the doctor.
It's a
I
slow-
love... Yeah. Well, the problem is it's a death you might mistakenly think you can get out of.
Right.
So you'll hide in a corner and you'll be like, how do I get out of this situation? I'll save and try a bunch of different things. Whoops.
I really do like Breen. I mean, really, he's the only character that both goes through kind of an arc and also is kind of an interesting character.
He's probably the most interesting character in this game, yes.
Yeah.
I love that he really thinks he's the good guy. That was what makes him for me. Is that he really thinks he's doing the best thing that can be done.
That's why it bothers me that they ditch him.
Yeah, that is painful.
Well,
But he got the talk
fans
show
prefer the G-Man.
gig, so
Yeah, he did get that talk show gig where he interviewed people and played Minecraft a lot.
If you
I
talk
actually-
to any like hardcore Half-Life fan, they're way more into G-Man than they are than anyone else.
I never
Well-
thought the G-Man was that interesting. I mean, there's not enough to him to like even be like. You only have one question. It's like, what's this guy all about? It's not like you even have enough
It's
knowledge
not
of him to
complex.
start asking questions. Yeah, he's not a bunch of mysteries.
G-Man is like the numbers in Lost. He shows up constantly all over the place, and you think it means something because of how often he shows up, but no answers are provided, and it's just sort of, oh, it's the G-Man, just like, oh, it's the numbers, and that's just, you're supposed to recognize it,
But-
that's it. Did we just
To
pass the
Valve's
thing back?
credit,
What?
they are really good at writing antagonists. Like, really good.
Oh.
Well, Eric Wolfall is really good at writing antagonists, and he was
Right.
hired for this.
So now we've got a sort of a turret defense sequence with no turrets.
I know I've said
They-
this
This is,
before,
found
but
us.
this is awesome. This plays into exactly what I was talking about, where like every little gameplay segment is a little pastiche of some gameplay mechanic, and this is basically playing some sort of defensive. You know, it's not really tower defense.
Yeah.
Orcs must
it's-
die.
Exactly.
yeah,
orcs
Yeah.
must
hold
die.
this position. You build your defenses, and then they're gonna come through, and you got to be ready for it. getting back to Eric Wolpaw, I probably said this on the show before, but I cite him as one of my influences. Like, if it wasn't for reading him way back in 99, 2000 or so, I probably wouldn't have started blogging about video games. Yeah. Like, I really loved everything that they did. And it's not like I copied his style. I mean, I'm definitely not writing from the Chet and Eric Wolpaw style. But I always wanted to do the...
Oh my god! Did that guy's corpse go through the door?
Oh wow.
Yes.
I think so.
Oops.
Yeah. Barney, you're so...
I am disappointed at how little screen time Barney gets in the episodes. I think
Yeah,
Valve
you
doesn't
almost
know what
wonder
to
if
do
he
with him.
died.
And I'm sure he didn't. I think Valve just doesn't know what to do with him.
Are there any
I
more
don't think they know what to
grenades
do
in
with the
here?
story in general.
You know that...
It's gonna get you in trouble, Camster. It's gonna get you in some trouble.
No,
potentially.
I can get behind that. We've been assuming that they know what they're doing, but it's not necessarily true. They've probably been making this up as they go along. And
Yeah.
I don't
now,
have a
how do you
problem with
resolve
that.
all this? I don't either. Especially in something as light on story as this. This is not Mass Effect. This is not a big, complicated thing with dialogue wheels. This is an excuse to go through battle set pieces. As long as it's not self-contradictory, it's fine. That's my pet peeve, is when you get so lazy that you don't make sure it makes sense. It just has to be consistent.
Story-wise, it's built like a more complicated Portal, whereas like with Portal, you can just build on top of the original game.
The
and I
fuck?
think
There
you
was a
can do
guy
that for
standing there the whole
Half-Life
time!
What were you saying, Mumbles?
Oh, sorry. I was saying that, like, okay, the original Portal game, you can just build on top of that game with story and just keep making stuff off as you go. And I think that
Yeah.
Half-Life is built the same way, where it starts off with, like, a weird explosion,
Oh, way to go,
and then it
Barney.
has this game, and
Fantastic.
then the next game would have just a build up from that. So you can build it ground up. Unlike Mass Effect, you really shouldn't fucking do.
There's our gate. Let me just get it
You
over.
really should not do that, yeah.
Done. I'm gonna stay here.
I
think
hear Barney griefs you. Here Barney is like, oh, you're going to go through the door. You know what? From now on, I'm going to send refugees after you. Have fun!
Well, this is the goodbye to Barney. You never see him again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
No, you see
No,
him
no,
in,
we see him just
in
before we go
episode
into
one.
the... No, we see him just before we go into the Citadel.
Yeah.
He says, if you see Dr. Breen, tell him I said... And then muffled sound effect.
You know, with a lot of muffled sound effects, they don't actually say the word, I find. Like, if you were to remove
Yeah.
it. But if you go and get the audio file, he totally said fuck you. And they just did a good job of muffling it out.
And we're coming up on that. We're almost to that big battle.
Hey, look, an infinite rocket box.
That must mean we're gonna fight head crabs.
Open my doors.
I hate this, getting stuck on this roof, and I'm ready to move on. Like, the only reason you can't move on is because the Combine won't show up and open the door on the other side. It really frustrates me, because it's like, I feel like I'm done here, I want to move on, but no, you have to just wait for them to open the door. And it sort of feels
Those
stupid,
missiles
like
are
you,
amazing.
yeah, because you realize, wait a minute, their entire invasion would totally have worked if they had just not sent that troop transport to open this door to uselessly try and kill you. Oh, music. I do love music.
I think it's
Music is my
interesting when
kinda
they
thing.
do put in music. Like, I want to know their reasoning behind, oh, well, we need to have music here. We don't need music here. Like, because I can't quite figure it. I guess this is like a boss fight, but they have music
Yeah.
in some of the like more mundane areas too.
I think it's almost they want to build highs and lows, and when they're trying to have a high moment, they put in music.
Yeah.
And this is you're supposed to be pumped for this battle. There's a lot going on.
And the
This might
music
be
is
the
just
first time-
awesome.
Yeah. Oh, this does it for me. This was my workout music for the longest time, was just this Half-Life 2 soundtrack.
Oh, how often did you listen to that then?
One half times.
Hey, fuck you. Open the door. Huh. Did that actually lock? I think it did.
What? It clamped down on the top of a door.